All right, come over here. I'm gonna show you this. This. Oh yeah, and make sure you do this. Are you getting all that? That's not training. I have a background in instructional design. I have over 10,000 hours in learning and development. Most of these companies do not think about how they're going to transfer not only their knowledge and ability of skill, but then also the value system in which they want the organization to function. What to do. There should be a training spot where you take a new hire, physiological examples so they can pick up, they can touch, they can move around, they can examine. Then you can also do quizzes on that individual. All right, so a little later today, after we're done getting a handle on this, I'm gonna give you some quizzes and we'll talk through it and see how you did. What I would have caught, only because I've been trained, is this one area. So here's what you'll want to look for, this right here. All right, that's step one. So part of training number 2, systemizing what things need to be learned in order. It has to be absolutely evident to the trainee the reason why it's in this order. So thinking about a training packet, you've already got it ready for them. Boom, send, please review files 5 through 10. Just look at these, reference the rest at a later time. And now you framed the individual with background knowledge so that when they come into the training experience, you've gotten the ABCs prior to arriving. All in one area, digital, deliverable to any one individual that they can walk through themselves. The next thing that's really, really important, the individual that you're working with has to be able to remember the information they're being given. The best way you ensure that remembering the information happens is not only through repetition, but through making sure that you're connecting them from prior experience. So you have to get to know the individual you're training, their background, their experience, and making analogies to things that they already understand so that your people could walk away with the values that you want and the skill sets you need. Both of those things are accomplishable by first examining how to translate that knowledge into behavioral narrative, which means you can find a story or a meme that easily communicates that understanding, whatever you're talking about. If you had to condense what happens at your store into a 2-hour presentation, the happiness and greatness moments and the most trying moments through a story, what would that be? That part is super important. The next thing that's really, really important is that you get the person to understand here are the most common ways that people who do your job fail. That they can know, oh, this is the likely outcome of being new in this role and how to overcome these problems. You're going to address this months before it happens, and you're going to get to set the right way to handle when this mistake or potential situation where the mistake occurs, how to actually handle it in an appropriate way. And you're going to drill it. This is what training truly is. Systemized learning in a sequence that covers the most vital information and proactively prompts the known issues that most people will have and starts to draw out what issues might be already latent within the individual you're working with from their past work failures. The next thing that should be thought through when you're training somebody new, you should be strategically putting yourself in a position where you have more help on the day you're training than you need, because your role as the leader is not the customer. Your job is to empower the people around you with the ability and skill and insight so that you don't have to be looking over their shoulder 24/7 and that they know what to do when a mistake is made. If you can't trust that your people are going to do their job well, then that's your fault as the trainer. That isn't their fault if you're the leader. That is the peace of mind that comes from empowerment. The goal that what you're trying to do with your people is to create a safe environment where they can fail. When NASA trains its astronauts or aircraft engineers, they don't put someone in a plane right away. They put someone in a simulator. They get them in an actual plane later. But the goal is to get them to replicate their knowledge in a safe environment that doesn't harm their equipment, that doesn't bring harm to anyone else around them, doesn't bring harm to the organization's reputation, and does not bring harm to the individual's reputation. It's not just showing people, all right, come over here, I'm gonna show you this. This. Oh yeah, make sure you do this. Are you getting all that? That's not training. This is what training is. How can I start to plan systematically? If I've got a certain window of time, what do I really want to impress somebody on? How long do I have before they should get into a live training situation? How am I making the environment in which I'm building them safe to fail so that nothing is damaged, no customer is affected, and their reputation is not affected? And of course, your brand. How am I also thinking about the next people who are going to learn? Have I set up training materials that will bring these things out of the realm of oh yeah to oh yeah? Oh yeahs should only be about the uniqueness of the individual that you're teaching. They should not be about what material you need to cover. So when you find someone who's got a weakness in an area that your training doesn't really address, whose fault is that again? It's not the trainees. Those light bulb moments mean your training needs to be updated. Putting that in and specifying how that's going to look will mean the difference between transferring one time with one employee or transferring all the things that they need to know for every employee. Don't let your company and your people be in a situation where they're not going to have the best out of you and the best situation in the training that they could possibly have that you could possibly give to them because you just didn't plan for it. If you need help as a business leader or as a manager, contact an instructional designer. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, email me, let's connect at castoryscape.com. Start to proactively plan how you're going to approach how you transfer the knowledge and skills and wisdom to your people